So I'll be covering your second portion, part B of information theory and coding, and I'll be discussing the part error control coding. So before coming to the portion error control coding, let us discuss a general block diagram of communication system. Am I audible to you all? Can
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, okay. Okay.
माइक से आवाज आ रहा है, पता नहीं
किसी कोई और भी अनम्यूटेड. हाँ, प्रेमलता आप अपना माइक म्यूट कर दीजिए. I think it will be fine now. So before starting with error control coding, I'll be discussing block diagram of communication system. So the first and foremost block of communication system is information source. Information source is a source terminal from where generally your messages are generated. So you have studied this portion. You have studied it in the first part where you must have studied that what are the different probability of messages that are generated by an information source. Then the second part is source encoder. Now this source encoder, let me complete this block diagram first. Then after source encoder, there comes a part channel encoder. Then modulator is present. And after this modulator, so these three blocks generally are the part of transmitter. So after information source, there is a transmitter, and inside transmitter there is a source encoder, channel encoder, and modulator. Now the next, then after transmitter, the signal is transmitted and it is passed through channel. Now at the receiver end, the information is received, the modulated information is received by the receiver, and the first block that it encounters is a demodulator. So a signal is demodulated into its carrier frequency, into its information frequency, and then again there is a channel decoder at the receiver end, and the decoded signal, the channel decoded signal is passed through a source decoder and then finally to the destination. And you also call it sync. So these three demodulator, this is demodulator, channel encoder, and source decode, channel decoder and source decoder, these three blocks are the part of receiver terminal. So you have studied that information source, it generates message signals with different probabilities. Now, based on their probabilities, the source what does source encoder does, like if it is a binary, if you want to encode it into binary data, it converts the message signal into zeros and ones, and it should be, the length should be minimum so that it could occupy maximum speed and maximum efficiency. So source encoder it converts the information message signal into bits, into binary data. Now, then we need channel encoder. So why do we need channel encoder? Let us understand that first. So channel encoder is needed because generally when a message, if without channel encoder, if a message is transmitted, if after source encoder, we directly modulate our signal, and if it is transmitted through the channel, so what happens in channel, there is generally, there is noise or certain interference that is present in this channel. Now, because of this noise, because of the presence of noise, what happens with the binary data that you transmit? Suppose you have transmitted data 10101. So it might happen that because of the noise that is present in the channel, the received data, the data that you receive over here, so one of the bit might change, and it might change to 10111. So this is noise. So that means your complete information has changed now. So therefore, to reduce the effect of noise, what do? We include channel encoder. And how does channel encoder works? So how does channel encoder works? It generally adds some redundant means it adds extra bits which are not supposed to be information. They're not information bits. It adds redundant bits to the message signal, or message signal which is encoded by a source encoder. So what will happen? And generally, so these redundant bits helps us, these bits helps to determine the presence of error in received signal, in received data stream. And the channel, and what does channel so this is the function of channel decoder. It determines the presence of, this is the function of channel decoder. And channel decoder, some of the channel decoder, they correct the errors also. Okay, so this is the function of channel encoder. Then after channel encoder, the encoded signal is transmitted through modulator, and you have already studied different types of modulator in digital communication. So, and the modulated signal is transmitted in channel, through channel, and after channel, demodulator is there, which demodulates the signal into the information signal. Then again, channel decoder is there, which identifies the error if there are any, and it corrects the error also. And then after channel decoder, again in the receiver side, you have source decoder, which receives the binary data and converts it into its message signal. And finally, it transmits it, sends it to the destination. So this is the function of channel encoder. Now let us see how does this adding redundant bits actually helps in finding out errors. So let me give you an example. Now suppose you have a k-bit. Suppose your information or your data input data stream is a k-bit vector, or you can say it is a k-bit message signal. Right? So if it is a k-bit message signal, how many possibilities are there? It will have 2 raised to the power k information symbols. For example, if your input data is a 3-bit data, now what are the possibilities of this 3-bit data? It will be 000, 001, 010 till 111. So how many vectors are there? These, how many information symbols are these? 8. So 8 symbols are there. Now if we transmit this 3-bit data directly to the receiver without channel encoding, you will be receiving any one of the data. Suppose you have transmitted 000. Fine. You are transmitting suppose you are transmitting 000, and at the receiver you're receiving 001. So because of the error, the third bit has changed. Now what will the receiver see? Receiver will check whether the received bit is a valid code or not. And it will check in this lookup table. Now if it will look for 001, it will find out that 001 is already, it is one of the valid code vector in the transmission data, right? So therefore what will your receiver say? Receiver will say that received the message signal that received, it does not have any error. Right? So in this way, when we are not adding any extra bits, so therefore receiver is not able to find any error that is present in your transmitted signal. So what do we do in that case? We add n minus k redundant bits k bit message sequence. Now we are adding n minus k redundant bits. So final जो code word होगा वो हो जाएगा n bit, right? N plus n minus k. You can interrupt me wherever there is confusion. So now we have n-bit code word. Now let's see how does this n-bit code word actually helps us in determining error. Now let us say since we have n-bit code word, this means the number of possible symbols because of this n-bit is 2 raised to the power n possible vectors are there because of this n bits, right? There will be 2 raised to the power n possible vectors. Now in 2 raised to the power n possible vectors, we will be having only how many correct valid code vectors? So valid code vectors will be 2 raised to the power k, because our information symbols, the valid information symbols is actually 2 raised to the power k. So among these 2 raised to the power n possible vectors, only 2 raised to the power k valid code words are there. So therefore, if we receive any other code vector which is lying in these error patterns, how many error patterns will be there? There will be total 2 raised to the power n minus 2 raised to the power k error patterns. And if any of if your received signal is lying in this error pattern, if it is lying in this error pattern, that means your receiver has received an erroneous signal. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is how your channel encoder works. Now, let us study what are the different type of codes. Basically, I should mention it as group of codes. So there are basically codes are identified in 2 groups. So the first group is it is termed as ARQ, and it is called as automatic repeat request. So in automatic repeat request, generally the codes are designed in such way that the possibility of error is almost zero. So I'm talking about the final code words that are actually sent to modulator. So the possibility of error is zero in ARQ codes, and therefore we do not include the section channel encoder and channel decoder. So channel encoder or decoder in such type of codes is absent. And what do we do in case there is an error? Since possibility is very less, generally if the receiver finds out, if the receiver judges that there is certain error in the transmission, it requests for retransmission of the erroneous frame. So it requests that the frame which has error, it requests for retransmission from the transmitter side. And this is since the, and it is only possible, such codes are only possible when the possibility of error is almost I should not mention it as 0. I should mention it is very small. So when possibility is very small, this means that 1 in a million bit sequence, there will be only one error, or maybe million is also a small number. So in that case, the inclusion of complex channel encoder circuit and channel decoder circuit will be a costlier solution. So therefore, what does receiver says? Receiver requests for retransmission from the transmitter side. The other type of codes are
Ma'am, just before the type of codes, ये N and K, can you please explain once again?
N and K.
Yes,
ये
ma'am.
आपका K bit vector. Okay. So ये जो K bit vector है, ये आपका after. Have you studied source encoder yet? Source encoder and
Yes.
source decoders.
We have an idea, ma'am.
So what happens after source encoder? After source encoder will generate a k-bit message. So k-bit message means, suppose it is a 5-bit message. It will so one of the code word for 5-bit message can be 1, 0, depending upon the type of source encoding you are using. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, or it can be 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. So these are the k-bit message that your source encoder is generated. So this is the information message, information data, right? So this k is your message signal. I mentioned it as message signal. And n is the total code word length. Now initially you had, what do you do? ये हम लोग आगे वैसे FEC codes में पढ़ेंगे. Initially you have k-bit information signal. Initially you have k-bit information signal. So that means suppose your information signal is noted by you are mentioning it as U0, U1, U2. This is just vector U k minus 1. So this is your message signal. Now when you are making a final code word after channel encoding, you're actually adding certain redundant bits after these code words. So after these code words, after this message signal, you will be adding certain redundant bits, and those redundant bits will be, how many redundant bits you're adding? You're adding you're adding n minus k bits. So if I denote it by P, since it is also called parity bits, so we'll be calling it as P1, P2, P3, and up till Pn minus k. So this is your final code word. That you're receiving, that you're actually transmitting from channel encoder. And the length of this code word is n bits. You can see there are k, ये n bits कैसे हुई है? Because there are k bits information signal and n minus k bits redundant bits. So is this clear now? हम लोग आगे एग्जांपल्स करेंगे इन लीनियर ब्लॉक कोड्स. तो आई थिंक हम लोग जब एक्चुअली में बाइनरी नंबर्स लेंगे या बाइनरी वेक्टर्स लेंगे, ये ज्यादा क्लियर हो पाएगा. Okay, shall I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
So the other type of code is FEC, and it is called forward error correction code. So in this, there is a channel encoder and decoder in the circuit, and the receiver circuit. In such type of codes, it detects and corrects codes, basically erroneous codes. It detects and corrects them. And FEC codes also, they are also divided into two parts: block codes and convolution codes. So we'll be discussing block codes first, and the next chapter we'll be discussing about convolution codes. So in block codes, हमने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले block codes का example लिया था. What happens? Suppose there is a data stream. So this is your data stream in which there are many. So this is a binary data stream. That means it will contains 1 and 0. So this is your data stream. What will block code do? This is an example of block code. So what will block code do? It will pick k-bit message k-bit message signal from the data stream, and it will pass it through linear block coder, and it will convert it into n-bit code word. So how is it converting it into n-bit code word? Basically, it is adding n-k redundant bits. So this is how an n-bit code word is generated. Now let me take an example of a linear. So how does this actually happens? So let me talk about linear block coder first, linear block codes first. So we said that we have a k-bit message signal, and let me denote the input message vector by, it is a k-bit vector. It will be denoted by u0, u1, u2 until uk minus 1. And since this is a k-bit data, it will have 2 raised to the power k input combinations. Now to this k-bit message data or message vector, we add n minus k check bits or redundant bits, and we finally get n bit code word, which is denoted by v, small v, and is given by v0, v1, v2 up till vn. And these block codes are represented by, so they are represented in this form. So it is represented by n comma k binary linear block. It is written in this way, and n comma k, it means the final code word that is generated after channel encoder is having n bit. So there will be a n bit valid code word, and in this n bit valid code word, k bit message length will be there. So in k bit message, so since we have n bit code word, there will be two raised to the power n combinations of code words, and among these combinations, only 2 raised to the power k valid and unique code words will be there. And how are these code words generated? These code words are generated with the help of a generator matrix. And this generator matrix is having, its order is k cross n. That means it will have, k is the bit number of bits in the message signal, and it will have number of columns equal to the number of bits in the message signal, and number of rows equal to the number of bits in the message signal, and number of columns, n denotes the number of columns, and the number of columns will be equal to the number of bits in the valid code word. And the terms, it is denoted by G10 to G1n minus 1 up to GK0 to GK n minus 1, and you can fill the other code words. And the valid code word is defined by V is equal to UG, and in terms of matrix, it is defined as V into V is equal to U dot G. And this since we are denoting valid code word by U into G, so therefore this generator matrix is generally denoted by ik, and where ik is the identity matrix of order k cross k, and p is the parity matrix. It can be denoted in both the forms. We'll do an example. I know abhi thoda sa confusion ho raha hoga because ye theory chal rahi hai, but let us understand this order first, and then when we'll be doing numericals it will be more clear. So जो ik है हम लोग केवल डिनोशन समझ लेते हैं. ये जो ik है ये केवल k क्रॉस k आइडेंटिटी मैट्रिक्स है, and this p is the parity matrix of check bits or redundant bits. Or you also call them as check bits. And the order, since the order of G is k cross n, the order of P would be k cross n minus k. So this would be the order of parity matrix. Now let us solve one example first. So the question is, suppose your information matrix, information data vector is equal to 1, 0, 1, 1. So how many bit signal this is? K is equal to, so this is your information data, and we said that information data is a k bit vector. So how many bits are there in this? 1, 2, 3 and 4.
4.
So it will be a 4-bit vector, information vector. So this is your message signal. Encoded message signal, source encoded message signal. Now you have a generator matrix which is given in the question as 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. Let me write row wise. 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. So this is the generator matrix. Now, how did we define? Generator matrix is actually used to generate code words, valid code words. So how did we define this generator matrix? Generator matrix, you can look at this formula. So generator matrix has an identity matrix and a parity matrix. So identity matrix, either it can be before bit stream. हम लोग मैसेज बिट को कैसे जनरेट, हम लोग मैसेज बिट्स को कैसे लिख रहे हैं? So you have k bit information signal, information first, and then you can have parity matrix. And the other way is, the other way to denote your information valid code word is, this is for V. Other way to denote valid code word is, first you have this parity matrix, which is given, which is mentioned by this P. First you have this parity matrix, and then you have k-bit information. So to have this kind of k-bit information first, generator matrix should be of this form, and to have data bits afterwards, after parity matrix, generator matrix should be of this form. So let us see in the question in which form our generator matrix is mentioned. So you can see over here, are you aware what is an identity matrix? Identity matrix is that matrix whose determinant is 1, or the matrix whose diagonal elements. Suppose you have I3. So by the term I3, it means it will be a matrix of order 3 cross 3. It will have 3 rows and 3 columns, and all the diagonal elements of this matrix will be 1, and the other elements will be 0. So this is your identity matrix. And since in this question, you have to find out the encoded information, or you have to find out what will be V. And in this question, G is mentioned in this form, and you have to identify the identity matrix. And the order of the identity matrix will be order of the bit vector. That means 4. So therefore, you can see from here that this is your identity matrix of order 4, and the remaining part will be your parity or check bit matrix. So therefore, if you have to mention from this question, if in this question it is asked what is the parity matrix, you can write it from here. That the parity matrix will be 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, and 0, 1, 1. So this is your parity matrix, and the order of this parity matrix is k cross n minus k. And you can see from here that the order of this matrix, k was 4 over here, n was 7. How did we know that n was 7? Valid code word, because it has n number. Generator matrix has n number of columns. So it would be 4 cross 3. And the valid code word will be given by U into G, which is U is given to you as 1011. And G is so now you have to find out valid code word, and you have the one thing that you have to take care over here is you have to take modulo 2 addition. So whenever you'll be adding in matrices, wherever there will be an addition term in matrix, whenever you'll be solving this matrix, you will be using the plus sign will be represented by modulo 2 or XOR. Or it is called an XOR addition. What do we mean by XOR addition? So whenever there will be odd number of ones, the output will be 1. So for if you're adding 0 plus 0, output would be 0. 0 plus 1, output would be 1. 1 1 plus 0, output would be 1, and 1 plus 1, output would be 0. So this is your modulo 2 addition. So let us solve this question to find the valid code vector. So you have to multiply 1011 to find out the first bit of the code word. You have to multiply this row to the first column. So let me denote it by V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, and V7. So V1 will be equal to 1 into 1, 0 into 1, 1 into 1, plus 1 into 0. So 1 plus 0 is 1, and again 1 plus 0 is 1, and 1 plus 1 is 0. Is this addition clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So can you tell me what will be the other code vectors? What will be the value of V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, and V7?
The V2 is 1, V3 is 0, and V4 is 1.
V2 is 1, V3 is 0, V4 is
0.
1, I think.
V4 is 1. It would be 1. V5, it is 0. V6, so your valid, the code word becomes, the code word that is transmitted by channel encoder, it is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. So this is the valid code word that is sent by the channel encoder. So you can see in this valid code word that the last 4 bits are actually denoting your information signal, and the first 3 bits are the extra bits which you call check bits or redundant bits, or you call them parity bits. And the code words in which you can separate information bits by the parity bits, those such code words are called as systematic code words. So systematic code words are those code words in which information bits and check bits can be separated. Otherwise, the code words are termed as non-systematic. And you can see from here in this code word, you are getting information signal at the last, in the last 4 bits, because the generator, in the generator matrix, identity matrix, so identity matrix was present in the second portion after parity bits. So the order of identity matrix was 4 cross 4, that is k cross k, and the parity matrix, the order of parity matrix was 4 cross 3, which means it is k cross n minus k. Now this is the valid code word that we have sent. Now how will the receiver know that this is the valid code word? Fine. So for that it has to check parity. So every transmitter and receiver, they generate like generator matrix is used to generate valid code word. There is a parity check matrix which is common for the transmitter and receiver. Like if the generator is generating certain information, some certain coded signal or a certain code word, the receiver signal will have the information of its parity check matrix so that it could check the validity of the received code word. So for that, you have a parity check matrix. And the parity check matrix is denoted by H, and the order of this matrix is, it is of the order of the number of rows in this matrix is equal to the number of redundant bits, and the number of columns in this matrix is equal to the length of the code word. So its order is n minus k cross n, and it is denoted in this manner. So h1 0, h1 1 up to h1 n minus 1, and h2 0, h2 1 up to h2 n minus 1, and this will be hn minus k 0 n minus k 1 up to h n minus k n minus 1. So we can see from here that the order is n minus k cross n. And this check matrix is generally made in such a manner that the multiplication of the code vector v and the transpose of this parity check matrix H is equal to 0. And if you replace v, if you replace this v by the formula u into g, where u is your information data and g is the generator matrix, जो अभी हमने थोड़ी देर पहले study किया है, and if you put it equal to 0, you know that u is not equal to 0. U is not equal to 0. Therefore, GHT is equal to 0. So this means this is the formula to find out H, and if, let me take the simpler way to solve this. So if we are, you know that G is denoted in 2 patterns. So if G is denoted in this pattern, that is IK colon P, and the order of G, you know that the order of G is K cross N, then H will be denoted by, the formula for H will be, so they are interchanged. Transpose of P and I of n minus k. So this is how the parity check matrix is generated. And the second way of representing G is, if G is denoted in this form, if parity matrix is written first and then the identity matrix is written, then the order of H or the parity check matrix, it will be written as, see, these two are interchanged. You interchange these two. So initially, and H will be, identity matrix will come first, and identity matrix will be of the order n minus k, because the number of rows in H matrix is n minus k, number of redundant bits. So identity matrix will come first, and this, in the second portion, transpose of parity matrix will come. So this is how we find out parity check matrix. And how do we determine whether the received vector is error free or not? Suppose you have received a vector R at the receiver, excuse me, and you know that this received vector is a code word and its length will be n, so it would be denoted by R0, R1, R2 up to Rn minus 1. Now if you find out, you know that if it is a valid code word, V into HT should be equal to 0, and V and R will be one of the rows of the valid code word V. So if you multiply this received vector with the transpose of H, and if you get the answer as 0, this means your transmission was error free. And if it is not equal to 0, this means data has, received data has errors. So this is how, so this is the portion of channel decoder. हम लोग इसको डिटेल में बाद में पढ़ेंगे. So let us find out. सिर्फ एक एग्जांपल करते हैं, then I'll wind up this class. So the next example is, this is the second question for the class. So you are given generator matrix, which is written as 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 and 0 0 1 0 1 1. You have to find out the parity check matrix with the help of generator matrix. Now first tell me, what is the value of k over here? So the value of k is value of k is 3, and this generator matrix is denoted in the form IK into P, right? So therefore, if we have to denote matrix, parity check matrix, we will be denoting it, since P is written after data stream in the generator matrix, after identity matrix, we have to write P first and its transpose, and then we will be writing the identity matrix of n minus k. Now From the above question, let us find out what is the value of P. And you can always check after writing this, you can always check if the order of your parity check matrix, if it is equal, if the order is n minus k cross n, that means your answer is correct. You are using the correct formula. So let us find out what is the value of parity check matrix in G. So the parity check matrix is, this is your parity check matrix, and it will be denoted by 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 1, and therefore H can be written as transpose of P 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 1. I hope you understand what do we mean by transpose. सबको matrices याद है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
किसी को नहीं याद है तो हम लोग उसको डिस्कस कर सकते हैं ब्रीफली. सो ट्रांसपोज मीन्स जब हम रोज को कॉलम में चेंज कर देते हैं. दैट मीन्स यहाँ पे जो रो वाइज लिखा था वो यहाँ पे कॉलम वाइज लिख देंगे. सिमिलरली 101 011. So this is its P transpose. And then you have to write identity matrix of the order n minus k. And n over here is 6. So therefore n minus k will be of the order of 3. And that would be, हमने identity matrix लिखनी है तो 3 cross 3. Okay, diagonally it would be 1 and other elements 0. So this is your parity check matrix. And you can verify, you can always verify from the answer. If you have received the correct answer, you can verify if G into H transpose is equal to 0. That means your parity check matrix is correct. Okay, so that is all for today's lecture. We'll be discussing few more numericals for better understanding, and then we'll be discussing the other portions of channel decoder. Okay, that is all for. Is there any doubt? And I think you should revise this lecture first. You can go through your book. Go through the book, and then you can ask doubts. Okay, so shall I wind up this class? Shall I end this call?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, class.